All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matt, and in today's video, folks, I want to fill you guys in on everything that's been going on with Terra Luna Classic. There's been so much that has gone down over the past couple of days, and I want to get into everything as to why the price is the way it is right now, where I see it headed in the near future, and so much more. So if you guys are new, you guys know what you gotta do. Hit that subscribe button, folks. I cover Terra Luna every single day on the channel, as well as some altcoins like Shiba Inu and a ton of other stuff. So with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. So the first thing we have to talk about, of course, is what's going on right now with our current price. And to be honest with you guys, it's really not all that bad, given the fact that we did see an incredibly high surge here in early September. And I told you guys, I said, look, there is going to be some level of pullback from this, because very, very rarely do you see such intense, incredible buy action like this that doesn't face some level of correction. But it looks like we do have an answer as to where that correction has stopped, and I'll get into all of that later in the video. But the main thing we need to discuss, of course, is what exactly has happened to send the entire crypto market into, well, you could say not a particularly great spot. You take a look at Ethereum here below 1,500 right now, which is not all that good. Bitcoin here teetering around 20,000, and the main reason for this can be boiled down to a couple of things. So the first thing, of course, was the Ethereum merge, which obviously is not all that good for Ethereum miners. There obviously is a whole load of benefits to the Ethereum merge, but basically what happens here is you are transitioning from a proof of work protocol to a proof of stake model. So you are no longer requiring a GPU or some kind of computer equipment to actually keep the system going. The system is continued to operate based off of people staking it, no longer hardware actually working. That's the very simple sort of breakdown of that. And the reason why this is so important for Terra Luna Classic is because this, transition went well, but also did trigger kind of a sell-off for Ethereum. So yes, this is obviously very good news. And if you look at the month chart, it isn't like particularly horrific or anything, but this kind of triggered a sell-off because I think a lot of people were, buying in anticipation. And then once we see the merge, we see a little bit of a dip. So that's kind of our first reason here. Now, the second reason why Terra Luna might be struggling a little bit over the past few days, I'm going to get into in a second. But before we do, guys, make sure to check out the Patreon, folks, down below in the description. If you guys would like to take your crypto and or NFT game to the next level, guys, you have a lot of awesome stuff going on here, including alerts every time I buy or sell a crypto or NFT, my crypto newsletter, my weekly NFT and crypto audio report, private access to my Discord, direct access to me via DM, and a free altcoin checklist to get you guys started on your journey. So lots of awesome stuff here, to be honest, guys. I truly think you will enjoy it. Link down below in the description. So the second reason that we need to take into account is obviously going to be the fact that rates are still going up. And obviously this is very bad for any asset, you name it, any stock, any crypto, is going to be very bad. See, the problem here, and basically what happens, is you have an extreme excess of US dollars that are being printed, that are being created, and then in order to sort of counteract that, you have to raise rates, and obviously that does harm the economy, and people are not particularly interested in dumping all their cash into crypto assets. So that makes it very tough, and again, that combined with, the Ethereum merge sort of put people in like a leery spot, given the fact you don't know exactly what's going on with the new Ethereum merge. It could be good, could be bad. It looks like things are good so far. But again, you have a lot of buy action that led up until the merge. And if you look at some of the volume, of course, it was very, very, very high. And then after the merge, we see some people selling off. So $26 billion here in basically mostly sell volume here on the 15th, which obviously is very bad. And again, that combined with whenever the Fed raises rates, that yes, technically does fight inflation, also really shouldn't have to happen all the freaking time. So definitely not a good thing for the general economy. And of course, that will harm crypto inevitably in the long run. So that's what's going on in terms of the two major reasons, at least in my opinion, as to why crypto is performing so poorly. When we take a look specifically, of course, at Terra Luna Classic, it is outdoing a lot of its competitors. And when we take a look, of course, at the actual movement, you guys can see we go from right around 60 at our peak here, all the way down to around 25. So roughly halved from its major peak. Now, I told you guys at the time, I made a prediction, which turned out to be right. I said, guys, this surge up to 60, yes, while great, is going to see some level of pullback because it's just going to be very hard for us to sustain that rapid, like, insane surge over like a few days. So we see some pullback. It heads again all the way down to around 25, but thankfully we were able to creep our way back up here to a little over 30. So right now, at least in my view, this doesn't look like a particularly bad time to buy. It's just kind of a question as to whether or not we're going to establish that same level of support that we have had in the past, and it looks like the 25-ish mark, 24, 25 mark seems to be stable since at least, a couple weeks ago, past couple of weeks. That seems to be the spot where most people, I would say, see it as a good time to buy. So I don't see us heading below 23 or 24 in the near future. Obviously, it is very, very possible that we could continue to head back up and get, well into the low 40s, presuming the rest of the market does behave. So like I've been talking a lot about on this channel, guys, Terra Luna Classic is susceptible to what Ethereum is doing, despite the fact a lot of days when these coins are down, Terra Luna can still go up. See, it really depends on what type of movement Terra Luna is experiencing. If it's experiencing like a social media buzz kind of, new announcement, the burn tax, all that stuff seems to operate independently of what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. So whenever you see a great, piece of news about Binance or any of the news stories that, seem to relate to Terra Luna Classic, whenever you see one of those, that really doesn't apply with the rest of the market. But then when you have a couple of days, like say the past week, which haven't been super eventful in terms of news, then Terra Luna Classic can be susceptible to what the rest of the market is doing. So you do have kind of a double-edged sword here. It's obviously great when we get our own independent news cycle for Terra Luna Classic that allows us to surge up to, you could say 60 here, even while Ethereum was performing rather lackluster. That still doesn't, sort of separate us as much as we want from being connected to these larger assets sometimes. So that is that. And again, of course, when we take a look at the volume, it is down a lot over the past 24 hours. A lot less people are buying and selling right now. And we looked at, compared to, say, a couple of weeks ago, there was a lot more volume here, $2-3 billion worth of volume a day. Now we're not even at $1 billion in volume per day, which is good in a sense because you're getting a little bit of a cool off. You're probably having more people holding. Of course, you have more buy volume than you do sell volume because we are overall up a little over 4% on the day, and that's obviously great. So we do have a lot of opportunities here in the future, of course. And then if we take a look just at regular Luna, which I think, a lot of people sometimes like to check as well, sitting at $3. So definitely a harsher drop. And the main reason why we surged is there was an airdrop for people who had Terra Luna Classic. So I think a lot of folks sold off their airdrop and then decided to kind of let it fall. So, maybe not a bad time to purchase Terra Luna, regular Luna as well. So, that being said, guys, thank you all so much for watching as always. I truly do appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys did. And I'll see you guys all on the next video. Peace.